Today will probably go down as Black Thursday in Ireland's history. It's the second anniversary of the disastrous bank guarantee, the bank bailout that was to be the cheapest in the world. And we woke up very early this morning to hear Brian Lenihan telling the international markets that he now reckons that the final cost of the bank bailout will be somewhere between 45 and 50 billion. These are staggering figures. We have also, as a country, had to suspend selling Irish debt in the international bond markets because our interest rates have gone so high. We also have the quasi-nationalisation of allied Irish banks, and obviously what has really destroyed allied Irish banks, and indeed the banking system and the credit system in Ireland, is Anglo. It's been toxic, and it has acted as a contagion to every other part of the Irish financial system. Where do we go from here? Well, today the Dáil will have a long debate starting in the afternoon with the Minister coming in and making a statement that hopefully will throw some light on where exactly he as a Minister is at. Because to be honest, I think he's been in denial for the last 2.5 years in relation to the extent of the property bubble bust in Ireland and the consequences of that for the banks, for ordinary families, for household debts, for people who've lost their jobs, and for people who have mortgages that they can no longer pay or fully pay. If there is an early general election, and if the Labour Party is honoured to go into government on behalf of the people, we will be looking for a number of things almost immediately. We'll be looking for a bank resolution mechanism to provide for a scheme whereby a bank that's failed, like Anglo-Irish, doesn't bring down the rest of the system, but can be dealt with like a company that goes into receivership. We will be looking immediately to create a strategic investment bank using some of the funds, about 2 billion, that remain in the National Pension Reserve Fund, to kickstart and continue capital investment and complete capital infrastructure projects, make sure that new schools and so on continue to be built as we pay off this awful debt. We will also be looking to have a new law introduced immediately to end the current upward-only rent reviews, where small businesses in town centres and high streets are faced with ever-rising rent demands, even though the property market has collapsed. We'll be looking for a scheme that we're currently working on at the moment to protect people who are in trouble with paying their mortgage because they've lost their job or they've lost a lot of their income. These are just some of the things that the Labour Party will concentrate on. We also know as well that Ireland has a very good number of very well qualified young people. We're English speaking, we're in the European Union, and a lot of foreign international investment is interested in setting up in Ireland. We heard a jobs plan from Brian Cowan the day before the Dáil resumed 2 days ago, but to be honest, there was really very little meat in it. We'll go back and work full-time on Ireland's behalf, as we did when we were last in government, and when we left that government we were creating 1,000 jobs a week. But there's no point in my not saying that today's announcement is a big blow, and there will be very tough conditions imposed on Ireland for the mess that this government has brought us to. I think our government should be negotiating toughly with the European Commission to ensure that we get time and space in which to meet our commitments, but not done in a way that drives the economy further into depression and recession.